Hey everybody, Sean McGinnis and Alex Newhouse here, and we're going to take a little look at the PlayStation Now beta. Alex, you've actually been messing around with this quite a bit, huh?
Yeah, I've been playing around with this, seeing the prices, checking it out a little bit, and yeah.
Yeah, because I've heard from people, I've heard through the grapevine that PlayStation Now is not exactly a terribly good value at the moment.
Yeah, so the prices are kind of all over the place. Like you can have some that are reasonable, that make sense, and some that are absolutely just nonsensical.
Well,
So,
I mean, let's take a look at those right now. I want to see what kind of spectrum we can find here.
Right. So let's start out with something reasonable, something that I think is a good price for a couple hours or a couple days of renting a game. Let's check out Killzone 3, shall we?
All right, Killzone 3 it is.
Yep, it's a pretty good game. I think I played it and I enjoyed it enough. It was a pretty good shooter on the PS3 from a couple years back, and as you can see, there are several different options for rental periods that you can choose from. You can rent it for 4 hours, 7 days, 30 days, or 90 days.
Okay, so like 7 days for $6. You'll beat the campaign. You'll probably play, quite a few hours of multiplayer, and that seems like a pretty decent amount of time for like $6.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, from what I saw, you can, like, I beat it in about 9 hours, and if you're playing like an hour a day, or if you even want to bump it up to 30 days and you're playing, a couple hours a week, that's totally fine.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable for a good game where you get the full campaign experience and the multiplayer as well. But I mean, that is one of the reasonable games.
Right. Killzone is a game that kind of exists at one end of the spectrum. It's one of Sony's first-party games, so there's an incentive for them to charge as little as possible for that because they're trying to promote the service.
Right.
It seems like other games maybe aren't always that good of a value.
Yeah, so let's check out something like Darksiders 2, which came out in 2012 and isn't nearly as good of a value. So as you can see in this, it starts out at $5 for 4 hours and goes all the way up to $30 for 90 days.
So if you want to rent the game for 90 days, reminder, this is not outright owning the game. This is just 90 days. It's $30, which is way more than a new copy of this game costs on Amazon right now.
Right.
That's kind of ridiculous to me.
Right. I mean, what I think Sony's trying to say is, like, you're paying for the convenience of playing these games on your PS4 because, like, obviously this isn't available on this console right now.
Sure, yeah.
And if you never had a PS3, you don't own one now, then maybe you'll be like, yeah, maybe for a week I'll check out Darksiders for $7. But still, like, you can find a used copy of Darksiders 2, a physical copy that you own forever, unlimited use for the same price as it costs for a month.
Right. So you're paying. There's a premium for convenience built into these prices.
Yeah.
You don't have to take the time to download them. You don't have to buy a physical copy off Amazon or GameStop.
Right.
You can play it on a device that's not native to the game itself.
Right.
So that kind of stuff does seem built into the price, but this is actually not the most ridiculous one that you saw, right?
Nope, it's not.
What was it, F1 2013?
Yeah, let's check out F1
We're just gonna go straight
2013.
to it.
Let's just go straight to the most ridiculous one. So right away, you can see that the lowest price shows up there. It's from $7.
Okay.
So let's jump in and see the options that you can use. So $7 is for 4 hours of gameplay. Let's make that clear.
Okay.
The prices go all the way up to $50 for 90 days for a 90-day rental of this game. And so to be fair, it is a hard game to find anywhere physically.
Sure.
But then again, I think you can find it on Amazon for about $40 new.
Yeah, so Amazon, like, I'm looking at it right now, the PS3 version is $40, the 360 version is $60, so, Amazon prices can fluctuate for games that have been out for a while, depending on like what the stock is like. But still, $50 for a rental. You don't even own the game. That's just like,
this is a rental.
Maybe I'm standing on ceremony here, but like, I just have a weird issue with charging that much for just a rental.
Me too. And it's, in a way, it's hard to criticize it because it's also like compared to the lowest price you can buy the game for, it's really not. It's around the same price for 90 days and you're getting on the PS4, but then again, it is $50 for a rental and it goes away after 90 days. And this game might be something that you want to keep playing for quite a bit of time because it is a racing game.
It's just so interesting to me because PlayStation Plus is one of the greatest values in video games today. Like, everybody I know who has PlayStation Plus absolutely loves it. Like, the caliber of free games that you get every month is incredible for what you spend on an annual subscription. PlayStation Now just kind of seems to be the opposite.
Yeah, so for the same price as it would cost you to rent F1 2013 for 3 months, you can buy your PlayStation Plus, get 6 games a month for free.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you're definitely paying a premium for convenience here.
Yeah, and it's really, I feel like from these prices, it's really directed to people who don't own a PS3 and never have. It seems so different, so opposite from what they do with PlayStation Plus that I don't really understand exactly what they're going for here. Okay, so we jumped into Killzone 3 and check out what exactly PlayStation Now will get you, like the kind of the quality of the game that you can buy or rent for $15 for 90 days in this case. So this is a little bit of Killzone 3's multiplayer. This game's from 2011. Actually still looks pretty good on this. Playing with a bunch of people on dedicated PS3s, so this isn't like a PlayStation Now game. And already I noticed that the latency from my motions on the controller to what appears on screen is very noticeable. And so for a first-person shooter like this is a big problem because first-person shooters rely on twitch movements, and when it takes a half second for your motion to appear on screen, that's a pretty big deal. Yeah. So also in PlayStation Now, at least in this game, the controls are based on the PS3 controllers. So the shoulder buttons, instead of the triggers, the shoulder buttons are what you use to fire. And from what I could tell, you could not change that. So Killzone 3 already has weird controls, and having to use the shoulder buttons on a PS4 controller isn't necessarily the best option, the best solution for this. Hopefully when PlayStation Now goes and has a full release, you'll be able to change up the controls a little bit more. As it is, I'm only able to use the PS3 controls on the PS4 controller. Yeah, so from this first quick look at the PlayStation Now service and this quick bit of a multiplayer match in Killzone 3 that we just played, it seems like PlayStation Now really has some latency problems to overcome before it is actually a meaningful and legitimate option for playing these games, at least Twitch-based shooters. It would obviously work for a game like Guacamelee or like a turn-based strategy game or something that doesn't require Twitch movements, but for a Twitch-based multiplayer game, the response time on the controller is just too much. And so we'll have to see in the future if they can iron these problems out before the full release of PlayStation Now.
Well, guys, that's I guess that does it. That's your look at the PlayStation Now beta as it stands right now. But, you know, like we said, it is a beta. Maybe these prices will get better, maybe not. I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. But definitely right now, PlayStation Now, kind of be careful with this one because you could definitely end up spending a lot more money than you really need to if you just buy a game outright. So there you have it. Stay tuned for more coverage.
Don't let them blow it up.